Afternoon. My name is Dinesh. I'm part of the SASE product management team here at Palo Alto. So we'll walk through a demo of what our Strata Cloud Manager command center looks like, right? And again, this is Figma. We do have recordings of this as well. We'll share links to this and the recording, but if you're not able to access, I think like Tiffany said, we'll also are building a PowerPoint slideware-based demo of the same thing, right? So first and foremost, a single pane of glass, one of the key challenges our customers have is switching between multiple tools when it comes to visibility and actionability of their network security portfolio, right? So what we have done here is we wanted to deliver three big value or use cases for our customers from the command center. One, what are the network security products delivering for you till date? Number two, how do we drive better security posture outcomes? Number three, how can you ensure that your operational health of your network security portfolio is best, which means driving the best uptime you can get from these products, right? So those are the three topmost use cases that we want to drive from our Strata Cloud Manager, right? Again, what value has been delivered or how we have secured your end-to-end users and applications. How can I drive better security strength and posture? And how can I make sure the uptime or operational health of my network security portfolio is the best? So the landing summary page here that you see is on the left, you see all your users, whether they are your employees working from home, what we call as remote users, or whether these are users who have walked into one of your branch offices, and the branch office could be Prisma SD-WAN powered or not, and how all of this traffic is flowing either through a physical firewall or a software firewall, the NGFWs, or through Prisma Access while they are accessing internet apps, SaaS apps, or private apps. Now, as you can see here, it shows the top three apps in each of these categories, but depending on the workflow, you can click and it's a fully interactive dashboard. Double click on just the SaaS apps, right? And you can do further drilling. As you can see here, if I clicked on that 310 and more, we'll be able to go and see all of the apps that we have recognized, the SaaS apps that we have recognized as the traffic flows through the NGFWs and Prisma Access, right? The second thing is one click. Again, if I'm somebody just managing and operationalizing NGFWs, I can get that view only, or if I'm doing just Prisma Access. The next view is how much traffic from my users is flowing via my NGFW versus secured by Prisma Access. And you can also get that view at a single app level. Just for Google, 8 GB of data transferred in the last 24 hours with 146,000 users accessing Google. So this dashboard is near real time, and the look back is 24 hours. So all of the data you see here will refresh automatically every 5 minutes, looking back 24 hours. At the bottom is a kind of a quick peek into all of the subscriptions that you have. Example, first and foremost, number of threats blocked and threats alerted. This is again what we have done for you. The second, user experience, how customers are using ADEM to be able to get visibility into user to application end-to-end with segment-wise insights, whether the problems are device performance, their home network, or the application itself. Third, best practices. This is an easy way to look at how much of your traffic is following best practices, such as SSL decrypt has been enabled. It's been advanced URL filtering has been enabled. DNS security has been enabled on some of this traffic, while some are missing best practices, and then gives that visibility so that you can go and enable some of those knobs. Last but not the least, this is our next-gen CASB, where we are talking about how we are protecting all applications, data at rest, data in motion, using our email DLP or inline DLP as well, right? So that's the overall summary view. The next click is now we get into different persona, if you would, right? Again, the dashboard is built for if I am a security admin or a SOC persona, then I would like to get a view into all of the threat activity, malicious URL, zero-day attacks that were blocked, detected and blocked, or my DNS security portfolio. Fully interactive again, one click on threat prevention, I'm able to quickly peek into, in the last 24 hours, 3,000 were blocked, 159 were alerted. And how many of these NGFWs have the licenses, how many have expired, and how many do not even have the license, etc. Right? As you can see here, any interaction, the bottom widgets actually transform to be able to give a view into just that particular security subscription. Now, one key thing, like I said, now first part we covered was the value delivered, right? And everything that you see in green here, it's green because it's good, right? In the world of security, if I block something for you, which is malicious, which is a bad actor, it's good. But then we also said the aim of this tool was to also drive better security strength and posture. Now, one example here, if you see the command and control attack, we have 96 critical command and control attacks that were actually alerted and allowed, right? And again, we want to kind of highlight here to the customer that this is per their security policy. It's not a miss on the product, right? Their policy is alerting and allowing these attacks. We surface that visibility, as you can see at the bottom here, the 96. Now, if I clicked on the 96, it actually takes me to what type of threat it is. It's a phishing attack. And I could quickly look at what is the policy for the critical command and control. As you can see here, the action says alert, which means the customer per their policy is alerting and allowing. I'm saying those are too many critical command and controls. I actually want to drop them and not allow. You hit save and you go back to the dashboard. And now you would see the number allowed there from 96 quickly drop to 9. We actually just blocked one particular type of command and control phishing attack, which was critical, right? So again, you're surfacing key actionable insights to drive better security posture outcomes. The next click is, again, from a persona perspective, think of tier 1, tier 2, or a network operator or a network admin, he or she trying to drive the utmost uptime that they can for their NGFWs and Prisma access, right? Again, depending on how deep the engagement with the customer is, now I'm going to give you two things. One, from here, we talk about how can we proactively, and in some cases, predict NGFW issues or Prisma access issues, right? For example, are you going to run out of capacity? And do you have to plan for augmenting capacity? Can I predict that event upfront in time? Proactive detection means before it becomes a widespread impact, how can I use AI ML to be able to detect that there are too many auth failures in your network today? I see a DNS anomalous count of DNS requests than usual today, etc. Right? So we are driving some of those proactive detections with root causing and remediation. And one of the key aspects of this is the user experience. How do I know if there is actual impact for my users when they are accessing applications? And how do you eliminate that the problems are not within the user's device, their home network, or SaaS apps or private apps that are hosted in the public clouds, etc. Right? So quick view into operationalizing end to end. And like I said, from help desk to network operators, they are benefiting from driving better uptime or reducing the time to resolve these costly incidents for them, right? Now, within Prisma Access, we can dig deeper. Here we are saying 172,000 users, again, working from home, let's say, are accessing these internet SaaS and private apps. How can I get a view into who these 400 users are who are having a potential degradation, right? So one click, you go into what I call as the SASE health dashboard. Again, these are globally all my mobile users working from their favorite coffee shops or home. And a quick first question is, who are these 400 users? And you get what I call as segment-wise insights. 100 users have trouble with their device, 90 home Wi-Fi or home router, 130 with their internet provider, and so on and so forth. Again, fully interactive. I want to see what's happening just with this one user, Daniel R. And you get a view into where this user is connected from, what GP client version they're running, what is their OS or Mac book version, etc. Right? The second thing is we want to be also able to troubleshoot if these users are connecting from far off locations, or if the network admin deployed data centers or the way they have architected their design is suboptimal, right? Again, this view gives you have Prisma access in US West. you see all the users connecting from various locations, but an anomalous user connecting from afar off, maybe it's time to think about spinning up a new Prisma Access location to be able to provide the best user experience. Another view is to be able to see trends of experience across the organization, whether overall there has been a big blip, etc., to find those what I call as systemic issues or issues that impact a large number of users, right? Second, one click, again, you get a view into globally all your SD-WAN branch sites and how many of them are degraded, etc. And again, you get a topological view of this. In this example, we are saying across all 500 branch sites, SD-WAN sites, how many of these have degraded because of their device issues, how many of them are degraded because of WAN circuit, and so on and so forth. Right? Last but not the least, this is what I call as the uptime SLA dashboard for your SaaS private applications. Could be either. And it gives you a drill down into if Zoom has lower uptime. If I one click, it kind of gives visibility into why Zoom for you users in the West Coast is poor. And it shows you that 35% of the time, the users in West Coast are landing on Zoom services, which are in far off geolocations. Another example is Salesforce. Salesforce performance is poor. And as you can see here, the latency is about 3.8 seconds, right? Now that's pretty high. And here we talk about how app acceleration, which is now part of our SASE solution, can help drive better SaaS performance, right? So again, we talk about one click. You enable app acceleration for all your SaaS applications when you're accessing them through Prisma Access. And if you go in, we talk about how we deliver better performance for SaaS apps. And two things that come as part of app acceleration in the current release is one, TCP optimization. And the second is based users activity. I will be very specific to Salesforce. Let's say current trend, we are tracking Q3, all our potential customers of Q3. So there are certain pivot tables that we always go to. Maybe we prefetch and cache them so that rendering of these tables is much faster, as an example. So TCP optimization are two big techniques that we use today to drive better performance in app acceleration. So that was the whole pitch going through our Prisma Access, how you can troubleshoot, get visibility into users, branch offices, applications, and how you could accelerate applications. The next part, when we come back here, is we talk about best practices. Now, there are two kinds of best practices. Have you done everything you could to follow the best practices from an infrastructure and deployment perspective? Number two is from a security posture perspective, right? So we kind of include both. And we give you a scoring, as you can see here, for infrastructure checks and security rule strength. And it's again actionable. If you go into view recommended actions, you can see all of the security strength improvements that you could do, because right now you're not faring so well when it comes to security posture strength. Go back. Last but not the least, we talk about our next-gen CASB or protecting all our data, whether it's at rest or in motion. Here we talk about sensitive data users, which is users accessing, could be proprietary data, could be have access to personally identifiable information, etc. How our inline and email DLP is protecting some of this, right? Again, if you click on data in motion, all of the incidents inline and email that we kind of critically identified and blocked, and then how many are allowed per policy, again, driving a better policy strength, etc. Right? The last but not the least, on Dropbox, it also kind of gives you a view of how many file uploads or downloads happened, how many were blocked because they were sensitive information. And it talks about SSPM, how many violations occurred where SaaS security posture management kicked in to be able to detect those drifts from IT set standards, etc. Right? So this is where we complete. Again, just to summarize, we talked about a summary view of all of your NetSec portfolio. We talked about all of the security, cloud-delivered security subscriptions and how we protected users and applications. We talked about our ADEM and AIOps portfolio to drive better operational health outcomes. And last but not the least is next-gen CASB, right? Protecting all your data, whether it's in motion or at rest.